It's a new one. This is a new one. You hear me? And concerning the last one, you heard all those days, all those moments, all those times, through all those experiences, when we was going through whatever we had to go through, you know, feeling like we wasn't gonna get through it. But glad when we got through it and got that phase behind us. For many of us, it felt like punishment, and it did. But due to the fact that we kept going, we kept showing up. You hear me? No matter how tired, we kept showing up. No matter how much we ain't feel like it, we kept showing up. You hear me? No matter how drained, we kept showing up. You hear me? The same way we show up for work at the places of our employment, even if you work for yourself. You see, I hope you've been showing up for yourself. See, cause we have. You hear me? And I say that way because it's gonna be some passerbys, you know, that come by and ain't been doing the work that those of us who this message sit home with been doing, and that's okay. You see, because we want to give them something to work off too. You know, it may feel like punishment, cause we all got our own work to do, soul work to do, amongst all the other work we find ourselves participating in. You hear me? And I'm just using work as a phrase, a description, you know. But we got to put that same time, that same energy, that same effort into ourselves. And I'm feeling good right now in 2025, the year 9. You hear me? The year 9. 2025, the year 9. Might be some life path 9s out there. Salute. You hear me? You know. Yeah, it's been preparation though. And by becoming the best version of ourselves, you know, or by becoming the better balance within ourselves, or by becoming our higher self in itself. You hear me? You know, we had an opportunity to show our own shadow what it was dealing with, you know, and by the work that we put in on our own shadow, it gave anything affiliated with us an opportunity to see, you know, exactly what it's all about. You know, because for a lot of us, you know, we had to prove we had to prove the dark side of ourselves wrong in order to get right. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. So I'm gonna say it again. For a lot of us, we had to prove the dark side of ourselves wrong in order for us to get right. You hear me? Not that it's in the wrong. It just used to doing what it's used to doing. That had most of us doing what we were used to doing, based on what we were born into, environments, peer pressures, and other things like that. You know, so eventually we'll figure out when we didn't fit in to some of the things that we may have came through. You know, we'll start undoing, you know, some of those things that's contradictory, you know, to what our soul is urging us and inspiring us and pushing us, you know, and yelling at us to do. In most cases, we don't be able to hear from the inside, because it's an inside job. You hear me? If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. But I was thinking. I say that to say we're on a different level. You know, we're on a different timeline. You know, it's so peaceful inside. You know, it's so peaceful inside. A lot of y'all ain't used to it. You know, and I said it like that for a reason. Cause you know, through my elevations, I've already experienced what some of y'all gonna find yourself experiencing. You hear me? So everybody that I'm speaking to, not where I'm at. You hear me? And And I mean, and I definitely not, and I definitely, I am definitely not where some of y'all are at, and that's okay. That's how it works. You hear me? That's how it works. So we could all have something, you know, to take with us, you know, when we intersect and and intermingle through these realms and these spaces, you know. So that's a good thing. But man, I can imagine. I can, you know, based on the conversations that me and my higher self be having, I can imagine what type of conversations y'all probably be having with y'all self, you know. And if I ain't, and I don't think I've said it, but if you ain't got your pen and pad, you might want to bring your pen and pad, because I'm gonna say a lot of things that's gonna bring some things to your mind, you know, concerning yourself. You know, just by talk, just by speaking about things that be bubbling up through me. You hear me? But I was having a conversation with my higher self earlier, because I know how to listen to it when it be talking to me. You know, it just don't be ideas and, you know, thoughts running through my mind. It be real conversations going on. But my higher self asked me how did I feel about the world that I'm filling in, you know, and I had to play with that, cause the same way some of the things I say sound slick when I say it to y'all, it's the same type of dialogue that me, myself, and I be having. You hear me? How do you feel about? But as I'm posing it, as I'm reiterating this dialogue that me and my higher self was having, I'm posing this question to y'all as well. How do you feel about the world that you filling in? How do you feel about the world that you're feeling in? Because that's how we filled it in. Play with it much as you need. and someone's going to need to play with it. Because it sounds tricky, but it's really not. How do you feel about the world that you are feeling in? So, how do you feel emotional about the world that you're feeling feeling in? Because that's how you filled it in. It ain't no other it ain't no other way to help us get it. But the more we take notice, for those of us that who have took notice, we begin to recognize and realize that in all that filling in that we had done did based on our feelings, that it was even more things that we was gonna have to learn how to filter out. And in order to filter out those things that we had to allow to be filtered in, you know, we was gonna have to do some unfeeling to undo what we did. You hear me? And I say that because as I was playing, you know, as me and my higher self was playing, you know, catch through the dialogue that we was having with ourselves, you know, it still just bring me back to the conclusion that regardless of what, everything is you. Everything is me, but everything is you. You know, and how you either harmonize yourself with it or resist yourself from it gonna depend on a lot of things as we move forward, you know. And I say that because nobody like all the mess that we don't been through. Nobody like all the mess that don't got us here, but we here, you know. I don't like it either. I don't like all the mess I have to go through. The good thing about it is, on the physical level, you know, I don't have to go through the mess that I used to go through, because I'm no longer the mess that I used to be. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it, just like some of y'all. You see, so now we dealing with things on a more mental, spiritual, psychological, emotional, astral level, in a way that we have to watch and pay attention, you know, to what's trying to watch and pay attention within us. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. If you don't listen, you really gonna miss it. But I ain't like it either. But I said all that to say, you not gonna like it all, just like I ain't like it all. But the greatest advice I can give you is to learn to be grateful for the opportunities of growth and expansion that you get to experience, that we get to experience, you know. Uh, uh, regardless of conditions, regardless of conditions, because in order to get above conditions, it's an emotional thing. Otherwise, everything that you see, when you see something that you don't like, you know, gonna affect you emotionally in a way that you ain't gonna like neither. If you don't listen, you gonna miss it. I feel you though, cause I've been there. But I'm saying this to say you ain't gotta stay there. We ain't gotta stay there, and we not gonna stay there. So, keep coming through. You know, keep coming through. Keep showing up. However you show up, wherever you showing up from, whatever you showing up behind. Good account, bad account, real account, fake account. On all accounts, you hear me? Just keep keep showing up. You know, it's big soul business over here, big shadow work business over here. You know, big light work business over here, big healing business over here, big ancestor generational curse breaking business over here. You see, so yeah, I don't care who you is. You know, just keep showing up. Keep showing up. Be better than you never been, you know. And so I'm gonna say a lot of things that's gonna hold us accountable, you know. I'm gonna say a lot of things that's gonna hold me accountable. Therefore, I'm gonna say a lot of things that's gonna hold you accountable, just for coming through this space. You see, cause I ain't sent for you. So if you showed up, it should be telling you something. Make it count. Make it count for you. make it count for you. You hear me? Cause I do it work for me to the point that I don't even have to, you know, I don't have to do nothing no more. I just talk from a space of having done it all, you know, to be a lighthouse, a magnifying glass, you know, a transmitter to others. You know, I learned this stuff from observing us. You know, we use it all to, in other words, I say that to say we use it all to transform over here. You know, spiritual death require ego deaths. And the ego is not a bad thing. And when I say ego death, not that the ego dies, because energy don't die. So if energy don't die, the ego is not gonna die. But when I say ego death, the ego needs to be transformed to a higher state. So I repeat, spiritual death requires ego deaths. And depending on who on the other side of what I be saying, in most cases, I cause a lot of them. You hear me? I cause a lot of them because the inner work, the inner work in you, gonna be a amplifier, an instigator, an amplifier, an instigator, a trigger, and others. You hear me? Cause we use it all to transform. But spiritual depth requires ego deaths. And if you ain't causing none, Better step your game up. Cause I call them all the time, depending on who on the other side of what I'm saying. As I go through mine, I'm gonna call something. You hear me? By you, by using my mind. You heard? Cause it's all about how can we win this squid game? How can we get above the squid game? You know, Squid Game. I binge watched. That's why I ain't been here in a few days. I had to recharge. I binge. I ain't gonna cap. I binge watch Squid Games too. And I had to get myself right. You know, that's part of the alchemy though. But yeah, Squid Games. How can we use this Squid Game? Cause whether we know it or not, we in the Squid Game. It's a Squid Game too. You know, it's only like a thousand billionaires. So how you think they view everybody else that ain't in that bracket? It's only like 1,000 billionaires. So that's like 0.0005% where all the wealth at, where all the money at, you know. So those who control the wealth, those who control the wealth, man, control everything. Whether we want to accept it or not. But how can we get our piece of the pie? How can we win in this Squid Game? How can we get above in this Squid Game? How can we win? What can you bring into the world that wasn't here before you got here? That can take your life to the next level. Because we all got something. Source gave us all something. What can you bring into the world that wasn't here before your arrival? That wasn't here before you came. That could take your life to the next level. Because there's somebody out there that can use it. There's somebody out there that need it. There's somebody out there that may need to hear it. It's somebody out there that may want to hang it on their wall. You know, it's somebody out there that may want that recipe. You know, it's somebody out there that might need that tonic. We got all kind of gifts and talents, you know, and things to help us increase the value of our lives. How can we win this Squid Game? You know, I want to remind us that our greatest magic is the transformation of ourselves. You know, our greatest magic is the transformation of ourselves. You know, so it's through this self-alchemy. It's through this self-alchemy that we become masters of self. Why is that important? Because I just spoke about abundance in the form of billionaires as a reference, right? And then I brought it to the magic within ourselves, which let us know that an elevation of emotional self-value, an elevation of emotional self-thought, an elevation of self-identification, you know, may be needed, or may be needed to be adjusted, you know, or may be needed to be added on to. However it fit, it's gonna fit each and everybody who hear what I'm saying different. But use it to make it fit, because to be human is to be divine. You hear me? And being human, we're gonna make some mistakes. But don't let our mistakes take away the divinity within us. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. I say that to say some of us may have heard that, and some of us may not. But what we wasn't told is we here to master both. We here to master being human, and we here to master being divine. Now, depending on where you at in your journey, you don't run across people that may only identify with the human aspect of themselves. You may run across people that may identify with the divine part of themselves, or the divine aspect of something other than themselves. Y'all caught that? Cause I ain't even gotta speak to it. I said that to say we're not wearing masks. We're not trapped in trauma. And by doing the work, we're not trapped in karma. I said that to say, y'all who've been around know I think outside the box in ways that most others don't. Because what we need to be looking at, it's easier for me to distract. It's easier for me to distract you from paying close attention to me if I got you looking somewhere else. That ain't what Sa will do over here. You see, so by the extent that I have put myself, on the cross and crucified myself, so I ain't have to call on nothing else outside myself. I know what it took for Jesus to do whatever they say Jesus did, because I did that work within myself. And if you've been doing that work in yourself, you'll understand what I'm saying right now. You hear me? Because it's only one of us. Namaste. You heard? Y'all who been around know how I bring it. Know how I call out things that need to be called out to give us an opportunity to confront those things, to give us an opportunity to do construction where construction needed. Put out our yellow tape to let people know construction going on. Do not put out the do not disturb. Put your do not disturb sign. Spiritually speaking, on the door. To let people know that it's work going on. It's construction going on. You hear me? And that's a good thing, It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Mastery of self is the highest ownership. I said that's why it's a good thing. Because mastery of self is the highest ownership. Ownership of one's soul, ownership of one's spirit, ownership of one ascension process. Mastery of self. Light body everything. For the God bodies, the goddesses, light body everything. Listen, you're gonna miss it. It's the devil entendre, you hear me? I say that to say embrace your greatness. We worth there all the love. We worth there all the happiness. We worth there all the abundance. We worth there all the joy. We worth there all the peace. We worth there all the health. And whatever else good for us. We worth there all that. As long as we can carry it. You heard? And we can. But we're gonna have to give it to ourselves. I hope somebody caught that. We're gonna have to give it to ourselves. You hear me? Challenges are opportunities to transform. And no matter how much it feel like punishment, remember, it's just preparation. It's just preparation. It's just preparation. Speak your truth, be your truth, live your truth. Remember, those that can't hear you, it's just not on your audio. And those that don't get you, just not on your in your opticals. You heard? I love y'all. My name is Sawu. Stillness, abundance, love, light, health, and wholeness. Thanks to the new subscribers. Thank you to the Cosmic Conscious Family and Soul Tribe, and to the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. You hear me? We go in 2025. I don't know where you've been at in your journey. This to the new subscribers, but in 2025, By the end of this one, as I said last year, we're gonna end this one. We're gonna end 2025 better than we started. You hear me? So if you don't expect to do nothing else, you know, with yourself, expect to do that with yourself over here. We ain't here to be fixed, you know. We here to be free. Um, and we're gonna have to correct some things in order to do that. You hear me? I'm just here to be a spark plug. You heard? Until next time, cause I am hungry. Um, I love y'all. My name is Sawu. Thanks for the likes, shares, comments, questions. Ask them if you got them. You hear me? Just don't be no ass. You hear me? But if you got questions, ask them. You know, I rock with the people. I rock with the people. I love people because I love myself. You hear me? And that's a superpower to those of us who have it. Other than that, man, peace.